Before I even get started with the story, first let me give a shout out to Ehi Pella because she asked me, or they asked, I'm not sure if that's a man or a woman, but I'm gonna assume that it's a woman, but I'll just say they asked me to do a story about this. And before I even get started, I repeat, I was not planning on doing any type of commentary on this situation right here because this really isn't something that is on my radar as far as commentaries go. I have done a commentary about mainstream quote unquote YouTubers before in the past, but that's mainly because they've done something that has affected the algorithm of the site, that affected us all. After looking into the details of this story, I said that this actually is an issue, especially pertaining to the individual on the right, but I'm going to talk about both of them in this instance. So in case y'all haven't heard or seen this name floating around, there's this YouTuber who's probably on the verge of being a has-been after this incident by the name of James Charles, who you see right there on the right. He is this, I guess you can say, uh, fashion, makeup, whatever kind of person you want to call him, personality on YouTube. Very popular, had millions on top of millions of subscribers. On the left was his former business partner and mentor by the name of Tati Westbrook. And basically how all of this started out is they, had a partnership and everything like that. But then I guess they divested their partnership. She went and did her own thing and he did his own thing. And they ended up clashing and everything like that. And something happened and she ended up going, at him. And then a whole bunch of other stuff came up. Like I said, I'm kind of speaking around a few things because I don't know every single thing. Because like I said, this wasn't in my radar. But when I get to the point where I'm going to talk, where I know what I'm talking about, you'll see why I'm actually glad what's happening to this James Charles character is actually going on. So as I was reading one of the articles back in 2017, it said James Charles tweeted that he and a friend were going to Africa. And he said, I hope and pray we don't get Ebola. Now we all know what he was really saying when like that. I thought I had some issues, but this one right here, like I actually saw somebody who had a page, a live stream up showing how rapidly he has dropped in subscribers over the course of days. It's like literally looking at water going over the edge. Like they're dropping like flies. They say he lost 3 million plus subscribers in like 2 or 3 days. On the flip side, her subscribers went up. She actually gained about 10 million subscribers from this whole thing while he lost about 3 million. And I think he's still losing them. And the reason why he's losing subscribers, and this is really why I wanted to do the video. Now looking at it, well, even though I said I really didn't want to talk about it, but this part right here actually goes into something that many have said about a certain community. Because if y'all didn't know, James Charles is a gay man. There was this video that he recorded, or someone was recording with him, and he basically came out and admitted that he likes to go after heterosexual men in attempts to turn them out, basically turn them into at least being a bisexual man or a full-on gay man. He actually said this. Like, if you go and look, he actually said that's what he likes to do. And not only has he said he likes to do that, it's not the thing. He doesn't do that to just single heterosexual men. He does this to men who are actually in relationships with other women. And not only that, he does this with heterosexual men who are in relationships with women that he knows. So he probably, like I said, he will know who the woman is. He probably longer than he knew who the man was. He probably got introduced to the man through the woman that he's so-called friends with, and he'll try to move his way in. Whether it's probably going into the DM, saying little slick things, all types of stuff. He actually admitted that on video. and didn't even try to deny it. He didn't even say it was a joke or he was kidding. He actually has done this. And I'm almost certain that's probably going to put a huge stain on the LGBT community, which leads me into this part of the discussion. This behavior that he's displaying right here is exactly why many people do not support the plight of many people in that community. Because we already knew that there's some shady stuff going on within that community. He just blew it wide open by admitted that that's what he does. And I'm surprised he didn't go even further and say that he knew other people who did the same thing. I'm surprised he didn't do that. He only self-admitted himself to do those type of things. This is why a lot of people don't try to get too close to people who are part of that community. One of the main reasons as to why. It's not that we hate you, but you do some underhanded and shady things like that. Like, you supposed to be friends with this woman and you too busy trying to get at her man who's clearly not interested in you. Now I see why there's so-called levels of hate crimes that come against people in that community, because they're probably doing some stuff like what James Charles is doing. And a lot of people weren't going with this program, if you want to call it that. And that's why his subscribers and his fan base has literally dwindled, and like literally that shit is crumbling. Like, y'all should see it. Like, I had a chance to actually look at a clip of the live stream. Like, someone actually made a live stream of his subscribers just falling. This thing became so big that it actually made national news. I know, it's kind of crazy, something like this making national news. I hope they put in the reasoning as to why he dropped in subscribers, not just saying he just dropped in subscribers because that doesn't just happen. That's far from a YouTube glitch. That's not a glitch, because if that was a glitch, then it'd be happening to everybody, but it's just happening to him. So as far as I'm concerned, he's getting exactly what he deserves. I don't think there's any level of apology he can give to try to get his way out of that. And also, the person who asked me about this was saying that they were trying to compare him to R. Kelly. I said, really? Y'all had to find a way to shoehorn a black man into this when I could find a laundry list of white men who are doing stuff just like this, if not worse? Interesting, very interesting. But I don't feel anything for this guy. I don't. Like I said, I really didn't want to do this video. As you can tell by the way I started it off, I was kind of all over the place until I came to this part of the video, this part of the commentary. But it's stuff like that, which he's doing right now, which is why a lot of people in that community end up getting put in the situations that they're in, whether to be, I would say, physically assaulted or even worse. Because a lot of times when those individuals who are in that community, they see, a lot of them like to play like a victim role and a role where they say that they want to be seen. It's like they're fighting for societal norms and while also displaying societal abnormal I would say abnormal traits. So they're trying to play both sides of the fence, and it just doesn't work. But he's getting exactly what he deserves. Like I said, there's no level of apology he can give out, because he pretty much ran a rift with his mentor, and then this came out right behind it. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he's going to be able to recover from it. And and then another one that I have mentioned on my channel probably once or twice, who's in that community, who's also big on YouTube, who does the same things that he kind of does, is that damn Jeffree Star. We all know how racist his ass is, but they can't get his ass up off of YouTube fast enough. I guess there has to be some kind of big scandal surrounding around him for it to happen. But that's the thing. Something has plenty of scandals surrounded around him, but he's still around, and we know why that is. But that's pretty much all I have as it pertains to this story right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.